is Friday, it is 1 a.m. The original plan was in the afternoon I had compiled a list of all of the YouTubers who had done their predictions on time, which is before the first match, which we have tomorrow, which is United versus Fulham. And I had compiled them into a spreadsheet. You're probably going to be seeing this in the background of this video currently. However, suddenly 5 people decided that they're just going to drop a prediction about 20 minutes before I started recording this. So obviously I went back and I corrected all of the spreadsheets and included all of the new predictions made. However, helpfully one of those predictors was Miniminter, and because of that I get to use his face in the thumbnail. Also interestingly, there was a supercomputer or an AI who has predicted the season. What we'll do at the end of the video is compare how the footballing YouTube scene thinks the season is going to go in comparison to supposedly the thing that's going to take over. So starting off, collectively the footballing YouTube scene decided that Southampton would be 20th. And looking at the spreadsheet, they came in quite distinctively 20th with an average position of 18.939999. I'll show you guys the spreadsheet later. For the past 2 seasons, all 3 promoted sides from the Championship have actually gone straight back down. And the collective footballing YouTube world also agrees that in 19th place is Leicester. They have a lot of manager troubles, and this has landed them with an average position of 18.55, closely contested with the other promoted side, Ipswich Town, with an average position of 18.53. This season, just avoiding relegation, are Nottingham Forest, with an average position of 16.84. After this, there is a quite big gap actually of 1.4 positions to Brentford. The plucky West London club stays up for another season. We then enter a run of relatively consistent positioning with Everton in 15th position with an average of 14.9, and then a whole 0.9 positions difference to Wolves, followed by Bournemouth at 13.7, and then Fulham. Although Fulham has been predicted many with quite a wide swing of being potential dark horses this coming season. Just missing top 10 is Brighton, followed by Palace with an average position of 10.4. And then just missing out on European positions by quite a margin with an average position of 9 is West Ham in position 9, like you would expect. Now, what's interesting is the next 3 all have an average score of around 6, and when I did this just before the new predictions came in from the YouTubers that I mentioned, so Miniminter and Thogden and Thogdad updating their predictions, actually the next team, Villa, were predicted to be 6th, but they've fallen down to 8th. I suppose the latecomers to the game have decided that European football will be affecting Villa's chances this season. The teams that benefit from this are Newcastle, who don't have any European football, and surprisingly Chelsea, despite their chaotic season. And despite their injuries and problems, as well as their well-documented problems last season, Manchester United have been touted to make 5th position with an average positioning of 5.3, so relatively comfortable. This is followed up by my team Spurs, and with an average position of 4.8, it looks like there will be a tight contest between United and Spurs. And now we go into the top 3. Despite losing a legend of the game in Jurgen Klopp, it seems that footballing YouTube decided that Arne Slot is a competent enough manager to manage 3rd, although quite a distant 3rd. And what's very interesting is that Arsenal will be missing out again this season, according to footballing YouTube, as well as the supercomputer, which we'll come on to later. What's very interesting is that with City being the champions predicted by both the footballing community as well as the supercomputer, is that Actually, when I did this the first time, before all these new predictions came in, City and Arsenal across 38 footballing YouTubers had the same average position, down to 6 decimal places, 1.545455. And so I had separated them with who had been predicted to be first more often. And by one, Manchester City had 17 votes to be first, whereas Arsenal had 16 votes to be first. Adding in the new predictions and the new YouTubers who came late to the game, Manchester City went down to 1.5 and Arsenal went down to 1.64, thus bringing them down quite extensively. And just in case you're interested in the numbers, this is the spreadsheet that I created. So as you can see, this was with the first set of YouTubers and the average positions. You can take a screenshot of that. This is with the second set of YouTubers, or with the extra YouTubers added in, such as Pitchside and Mini Minter and so on, which you would have thought with an extra Arsenal bias would have, on Pitchside for example, would have actually brought them up. However, I think Lewis's prediction of Arsenal in 4th has put pay to that. You can also see, if we move this along, this is the prediction from the supercomputer, which is relatively boring. I am a little bit hurt that the supercomputer has decided that Spurs will actually be 7th and miss out on potentially any European football the upcoming season. And they've actually predicted that Leicester will stay up, as well as Southampton, and that both Forest and Wolves will actually go down, which is very surprising. And finally, because I don't want my hard work to not be recognized, this is the collection of the YouTubers that I included. So we have myself, Joe Tomlinson, Spencer FC, Statman Dave, James Lawrence Olcott, Liez, Danny Aarons, Thogden, Thogdad, Rabona TV, The Athletic Podcast, Nathan Connor, Mini Minter, Joey Knight, Vizzy, Pitchside Team, Mark Goldbridge, and as you can see here, a lot of the teams had blanks in mid-table, so they didn't really decide that they were going to do any mid-table predictions. For this type of prediction, what I decided to do was teams that were not named but were kind of in the fight. So for example, here, let's say if we go along to somebody, let's say here, Chelsea haven't been mentioned in the top 6, so I would have put them 7th. And this is averaged out by some people over predicting and some people under predicting. So some people who didn't mention them in the top 4, this would be averaged out by somebody saying that they would be 7th, for example. Anyways, that is the prediction that Footballing YouTube has made. I'm pretty sure that the wisdom of crowds will hold true, which I'll put the quote up here. And that should be how the Premier League season finishes. We'll revisit this in May. What do you think? Do you agree with either the supercomputer or Footballing YouTube, or what are your own personal predictions? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you like this kind of content, I'm trying to move to create a new video upload schedule where we'll be doing more solo content and then, specific portions of those throughout the week, with some shorts interspersed and then specials every other week as well throughout this sporting season. Let me know what you guys would like to watch on this channel. I'm open to anything in terms of sports related content, even periphery related sports content. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.